Right.
So you got yours on like
Yeah,
that,
I
too.
got it, it's legal.
I take my glasses off so I can see.
Yeah.
I learned the trick to that today, Carrie.
That kind of day. Hey, how are you? I was checking out build your own rod kits.
Oh, yeah.
HMX graphite kits. $150 top of the line. Then you gotta assemble.
Right.
And I'm thinking, that's a lot of money. If you knew that they were quality rods.
And how many dogs do you have that cost you that much?
I've got to call him. I've got to call him.
I'm trying to think if I actually
He asked
have
me to
any
call him
dogs.
yesterday, so my 2 weeks vacation.
See, you gotta put the balance of picks, and this much to have balance, and this much to go with it.
Okay,
Well,
But
I don't-
building the rod, that's the part that,
Well, my great nephew builds rods, but I can buy a St. Croix icon for $140. I can buy a Fenwick, top line Fenwick for $140. I cannot buy a G. Loomis for that kind of money, no. And they are not.
Listen, this is good.
so the kids, an $800 rod.
Oh, by the time Justin set up, the rods are over 300, and he's got over a $300 spinning reel on it. Don't get me wrong, it's
Let's
nice.
see if it gets measured.
I don't know if that rifle nice, but it's not.
I was just gonna say,
How many of those real cheap
Wow.
$29 units can you buy for that?
Well, it's just, and I was fishing with that G. Loomis up on the Missouri, and it's G. Loomis walleye. It is, it's nice. I mean, I'll tell you how nice it is. I caught 2 fish and 3 casts because the fish knew.
It was branded.
it's not like the deer who don't care what you're wearing. They do know the orange vest, though. The deer do know the orange vest, though, so do the elk.
Yeah.
They send out a memo.
No, I was, but mudhole.com has a blank on there. This is the full kit, so it comes with the eyes and everything, you just gotta wind it. So, I wanna buy one, but I don't wanna spend that kind of money to wind up. I just, you know, like mud.
Here again.
Okay.
Pay an extra for that?
Doesn't that suck? Working for a living is highly overrated.
Huh?
That I'm not sure exactly.
Yes, it is.
I can find out though. Give me
I
a
have
moment.
my text.
Have you been on?
They're good.
Well, they have to be here, they have to be here for that.
That's weird. Good.
Well, I'm gonna go into the meeting, so you're going to be here.
$1,000 to fix potholes.
I'll just be on mute, hang out.
I gotta quit breathing.
And these are the kinds of things that
I got my text about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Funny.
Dr. Hatch.
Jay come in, or is he at the fire hall?
I thought he said he had a fire meeting down. That's what he said this afternoon.
He what?
That's what he said this afternoon.
I
don't
went
have
to
to
the,
wear them glasses anymore.
went to the eye doctor, told me I needed bifocals. I passed him, spelled a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Year later, I agreed with him.
I can
No
imagine
blind
that's a
ones.
pain with glasses.
Before he finally decided cataracts
Yeah.
are bad.
I don't miss that.
I turned it on the phone.
That I needed to have them fixed.
Everybody's ready, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Like all.
I would like to thank everybody for coming tonight. Shirley will not be with us. She is ill. She's been in the hospital again today, so well, we'll just wait and see. Hopefully she'll get better and we'll see how things go. We do wish her the best.
They said the pledge of allegiance. I gotta go get my mask.
First on our agenda is Sheriff's Report. You ready, Josh?
Sure. So, for November, we had 52 hours here. We've had only a few hours for December, and part of that is we've been hit with the COVID quarantine stuff too. We've been very short-handed and anticipate we will be for the future like everybody else. So that's reflection on some of the numbers, but although the numbers are low, we've probably been busier over here in the last month or so than normal. We've had 2 DUIs in town. One of those was a DUI that one of our guys wrote, and about a week later we got him at about 135, about 2 in the morning going by the Rockville Cemetery, and went on the fight with us. Same type of deal. So that guy is still in jail over that one, in Bozeman, of course. Yeah, he said he was going faster, but that's what we got it, so nothing to be proud of. But, especially if you're
Who counts after 135?
what's that?
Who counts after 135?
Yeah, well, the judge does, but, we've been hitting the school street over here. I don't know if you've seen anything different, but we have been hitting it really pretty regularly, including myself. What we're seeing is that speed limit is 25 miles an hour by your house.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers are there. I mean, the speeds are all pretty well within range. We've had a few stops. Usually what they are is staff, they're not kids, which is usually what we find. It just is. And, or adults going to the school, whatever it may be. But, so we'll continue to hit it as we can. But we did take notice of that. I don't know. It's probably never enough. We understand that, but we're trying to hit it. We had a vaping deal up at the school we dealt with, and some citations were written out of that. So, I was, pretty thankful the school actually took that serious and contacted us, and so there's a few citations written into court. Other than that, I think it's just been all right. Any questions or?
I want to thank you for hitting School Street and, having your deputies over there to patrol that. That's good. I
Yeah.
appreciate it, and I'm sure that everybody here does.
Yeah, and we still hit the highway, but, we took notice of the feedback we were getting on School Street, and sure to be in there 24/7. We're there when we can. And seems like we've made a little bit of a difference. So.
Well, I agree. Just the presence
Just
stops a
presence.
lot. Appreciate that.
Josh, how's it going with the county jail?
So the county jail detention facility meetings are starting. They're every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. So there's at the Joliet Fire Hall, and then at the Red Lodge, the Commissioner's office. They're meeting, and then they're linking in through satellite, to zoom in. Those are public meetings, and everybody's invited.
Yeah.
They are basically looking to get it on a mail-in ballot by March. Is kind of their tentative timeline. We got a lot of work to do, you know. A lot of it's education,
Yeah.
you know, and of course with the current restrictions, that makes it really tough. But the commissioners, that's what they want to do. They got a third commissioner now, and that's what they were kind of holding off on. And so any feedback, everybody's welcome. You know, if you can't make the meetings, reach out to the commissioners or to me or this website. And anything we can do to answer questions, and because it will be put before the
Are
people.
they
for a
doing
vote.
anything on Zoom?
Yeah, it is. It's all on Zoom. So you can log in. We do Zoom meetings. I go to the Joliet Fire Hall and there's a handful of people, but people can call in, and I don't know that information right offhand, but that's what they're really trying to get is
Who would someone contact to get that information?
call Angela at the commissioner's office.
Okay.
Okay, Josh.
Or check the commissioner's website, the county page. It's all very up to date there. Because we
And
want,
what is the target date?
well, tentatively, I think there's some deadlines they gotta get, you know, ballot language, and they gotta find a dollar amount, they gotta figure out exactly how many beds, they gotta get a good plan together. But they wanna push it, they wanna get it for March, April, whatever that time frame works out.
How many bed facility are they looking at?
Well, last week they had a lot of discussion on it, and they stuck with the 100 beds, and they had a lot of reasoning for it. You know, and basically it's, you know, I don't know how far you wanna go into it, but yeah, there's a lot of talk into it, and that's,
And that's still slated for the Joliet area then?
yeah, the county, right across from my house, so. No one gets to say I don't gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
It's right on the south end of Joliet, between Joliet and the Columbus turnoff. The county is working on an agreement to buy that 14 acres, I think.
Okay.
But I encourage anybody to ask questions or come and give feedback, because we wanna get the word out and just answer questions that we can.
And what's the date of that, sir?
What's that?
What's the date?
There's not a date set. Their goal is for the March.
The meetings that they're.
Oh, the meetings are every night, or every Wednesdays at 6.
Everyone's visits. Thank you.
I say that's their plan right now.
Right.
With the holidays, I don't know, but they're. So, anything else? All right, yeah, I'll stick around.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Are you going in?
I'm good.
I'm gonna stand here, so.
Next up, we got the minutes. We need to approve the minutes for November 10th, 2020, city council minutes.
I make a motion to approve minutes for November 10th.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Approve the bills for November 2020.
Has everybody had a chance to look at them? I make a motion to approve the bills for November 2020.
I'll second that as well.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the bills for November 2020. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Credit thing.
Employee reports.
Thing in front of you, you should have your, claims list, the vendors list, your cost report, your expenditures versus actuals, and your revenue versus actuals. And that's about all that I have to say.
Maintenance?
Well, after that first snowstorm, we kind of had a lot of adjustments to make on equipment. Some things were working, some things weren't. So we got all that ready to go for when it snows again. We fixed the truck plow that was not coming off the ground. And then recently we've been going through Christmas decorations. There's a lot up there, but a lot of it is not in working condition. So we've had to kind of take some apart, put them on other things, but we've got the part for the frost-free hydrant in the park that's been leaking. and causing the ice mountain. So we're gonna do that when we figure out the best way to do it and the best time to do it, so it's not gonna get cold or snow when we're
So you're
doing
gonna
it.
have to dig that hydrant up?
I think so, that's what he's thinking anyway.
There's no way to shut it off?
He doesn't know where the shut off is.
Yeah, for the park, I'm not sure.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we're still looking into that part in case, so that we don't have to tear it up.
Okay.
What else? We are making a plan to grade First Street,
Okay.
he said. I don't really know much about that part yet, but, and
Yeah,
then,
it's pretty rough. First Street
Yeah.
is, First Street and you come around the corner of the park there, it's a pretty rough street.
yeah. So that, yeah, that'll be coming up soon. And then we may have to close the burn pit for about a week. But hopefully there's a way to let people know in advance so they can take anything that they need, because we need to burn it and dig it out, because it's just getting out of control over there. So he said we were gonna be doing that probably within the next couple weeks or before the first of the year.
Okay. So we just need to make
Yeah,
sure we, you
everyone's,
know,
yeah, so it's fair.
put barricades up and everything to keep everybody out.
And then we've been kind of cleaning in the shop and going through things so that maybe when 2021 starts, that we can start some kind of inventory. But, I mean, as we can in there. We got, the fittings are getting organized, so we know what we have on hand. So that fixing things are faster.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it that I can think of.
Okay. Randy had a question.
I think masks are required, and there's a number of people here who don't have a mask, and I'm going, I don't think you people in Fromberg or Montana, I'm from the epicenter in Snohomish County and Washington and King County. It's pretty serious, and if people aren't gonna wear masks, which I see a few people around here aren't, and then they gotta have the mask under their nose. Anyway, it doesn't work, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. The reason I don't have a mask on is I can't talk with a mask on. And in order for you to understand me, I have to have a mask off. So,
Why do you put that on the bottom of the town council meetings?
I'm just
What's the
saying,
sense of putting it on there?
the rules are the rules, I don't make them, I'm just saying that you people.
and that's fine.
The other question I would have is why is the county sheriff here 24/7? Do you feel the need for his presence here?
Yet, for what?
I
He
don't-
has a-
I don't know for what, that's what I'm asking
He
you.
is we've contracted with the sheriff's department
Yeah,
to do the law enforcement for the town. They come over and they report at our city council meetings.
Okay.
That's why we have a sheriff's, or the sheriff's deputies, or whoever he sends over. That's why they're here.
so usually they give their report and leave.
They haven't lately.
No.
Well, exactly, but we put them at the top of the agenda so they could go about their job.
And that's
Does the
fine.
town
If he
council
feels-
feel the need to have the deputy sheriff here to play sergeant of arms constantly, which is ridiculous?
I could answer that real quick.
Great.
Yeah,
I'm the elected sheriff, not a deputy. I'm salaried, I'm not wasting anybody's tax dollars, and it's a public meeting, and I'll be here until the end of it.
Okay,
That's the end of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
just a question,
I answered it.
and yes, you did.
Let's,
You know, we get a couple of extra masks.
yeah, you probably, you got one?
You know how small COVID-19 virus is?
I know how small it is, yes.
Okay, so you're not doing the business I was here for anyway. Doesn't look like with the zoning of the building over here, so.
Actually, the zoning comes in down, item 10.
No, I'm not gonna wear the mask, so if you don't want me to be here, I won't be here.
Well, I'm sorry.
think a lot of you probably feel the way I do, but you're just not. Taking anybody
That's
to task.
it. I'm admiring you right now.
Okay, have we got any other comments for the Public Works?
I don't know what the.
I got one.
For Public Works,
Yes.
what is your question?
My question is, who owns the meters on the water?
Who owns the meters on the
I
water?
believe that.
We buy meters from whatever you're billing us on.
You buy the meters.
Who owns the meters? How are they calibrated? How is that working? Cause I'm not happy with my last water bill. I'm not happy with how it's working. I don't think the meters are correct, and I'm sorry, but are they calibrated? Are they?
Does anybody know whether Randy has an instant read meter or a manual?
I don't know for sure, that would be something that Jay might know right offhand.
And I don't know if you do have an instant reader, they manually read it.
And they go by thousands of gallons, they are calibrated to thousands of gallons.
$2.50.
Yeah, but who owns the meters and who calibrates
That's
them
something we're working on as we speak.
as we speak? Bless your heart, dear.
Okay, that's-
I love it.
I know they're
there all the
they're
time.
fairly accurate.
Yes, they are.
Because I got the mechanical inside my house, and so one day they come by and I said, "What's it say?" And I jumped under the house and looked at the mechanical, and it was surprisingly pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty close. I have been around with a meter guy and we've looked at several of them.
You know, this issue has come up, I think, at the last council meeting about whether or not we're gonna charge for these new meters or whether the homeowner is gonna be responsible for the cost of a new meter to replace the old manuals and update it to the instant read. But this council continues to kind of ignore that fact, and we need to come to some kind of an agreement how we're gonna handle that. We can't kick the can down the damn street forever. We're gonna have to make a damn decision whether or not we're gonna charge the homeowner or we're gonna pay for it. Now, the town doesn't have a lot of money to pay for those meters for everybody that has a manual. What do we propose to do about that, guys?
If it's, for me, now, I paid for my meter. I don't know, there's probably been several in town that have paid for theirs.
I would say that you guys would probably have to have a workshop and discuss it with public. And, because there's pros and cons to having either the town on them or.
I think this council can make a decision whether we're gonna charge for them or whether we're gonna give them for free.
Yeah,
That's what we're
Yes.
here for.
yeah.
But
I'm
So
just-
we need to do that.
There's different, I mean, there's pros and cons to having the town own them or the residents own them. If the residents own them and they break, then it's up to them to fix them. They can, go around so that they don't have to pay for their water usage if they own them. So you have to look at both sides. That's all I'm saying.
So we need to set up a special meeting to discuss the meter issue and then make a decision so that we can vote on it at a regular meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, you had a question.
It's always been prior.
Yeah.
That you have owned the
This goes
meter.
back like,
The
One
second
person
reading.
at a time.
The second
I'm
reading.
sorry.
It's always been prior that if the meter is placed on your residency, you own it, you purchase it. That's how it's always been. If the meter is placed out at the curb stop where you turn it on, you own it. And if it freezes and shuts up, you pay for it. There's a difference in between right at that curb stop where it turns on, that's your property.
Yeah. Curb stop to the
But
house
if
is
it's-
mine,
But,
Curb stop to the street or wherever the main water line is yours.
yeah, so that's how it's always been prior to this.
I didn't even know there were different kinds. I didn't even know there was different kinds.
How many of those meters are on the city side of the curb stop?
Well, there was only
I
a
don't
few
know
and
that
they
there
had
isn't
to
any.
dig them up. There was
Yeah.
only a few, and you would have to talk to Mike Beekwer because he was the party here when they
But
were.
these people are reading them weekly, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
monthly, they know.
It seems like most of them are by their houses,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
there are a few that are out closer, but I think most of them are between the residents and the curb stop.
Yes, I agree. They're on private property.
Then you own it.
Yeah, but that's something we'll have to discuss, I think, at a special meeting. So it's something that we need to set up to do, probably the first of the year.
Okay.
Is that something?
Nobody's found my water cutoff valve yet, as far as I know.
Yeah, if you would not, okay with that.
It's been brought up a bunch of times. I realize there's a lot for them to do, but it'd be nice for it to be found, before, everything's buried by snow and then you have problems.
Well, would you make a note of that and bring that up to Jay, that he needs to, we either need to find it or we have to install it?
Okay, I'll put it on here, stuff it up my bed.
It's probably better to install it while it's halfway warm than it is when
Yeah.
it's 20 below. Okay?
I-
Okay.
It was never come up for,
Any other questions?
it was addressed, but it wasn't finished.
Old business. We have audit proposals.
So we got two companies interested in the audit,
So we have the Whipley one,
right?
and then we've got one from
Danny?
Denning, but it is only for the annual review, and that cost is $3,400, it's not for the audit. Whipley is the audit, which is $10,500, and then it's $4,500 extra if there's another audit that they have to do. There might be two audits, but there's only one at this time, and then $3,100 for the annual review. And that's the only two answers we got from the ads.
Okay,
Was
so,
anybody in contact with Denning and let them know that this wasn't incomplete?
Well,
That
they
we
did-
needed them to give us an audit quote?
They did not answer the ad, they answered what was in local government services website, which only says we need an annual review.
however, for the
So the
service
answer is
that
So the answer
Denny,
is no, because they didn't go through the ad, they went through the website.
Whether they went through whatever, if they responded, I would have thought that somebody would respond to them, letting them know what we needed.
So,
Did we not?
no, we did not.
Okay.
however, their annual financial review, Downing was $3,400, and the annual review that Whipley gave was $3,100. So Whipley would even, that be the lesser of the two, and they're the ones that have been doing
We have done our audit, yes.
the audit, so,
We can,
um,
I can call them and ask them to put an out.
Tim,
ad
I'm
on
really,
there.
really uncomfortable with giving one bid for $10,000 out of the budget that we have to work with,
Thank you,
without having anything else to go on.
thank you, sir.
That's just my opinion. And I'm the one that asked for the second quote, and evidently that went on deaf ears.
well, they did give a second
They
quote.
did not. They gave us
They-
not on an audit.
Well, that's, yes, I agree, not on the audit. It's a failure on their part to read what was required.
But she's saying it came off of a website, and
Yeah.
off of the website, it did not request an audit.
No.
I mean, how many of those auditors get the Red Lodge paper?
I have no idea.
5,331.
Okay, so we will need to probably then set up.
This is dragging out. I mean, obviously, I would have assumed that this is important to everybody here to use the little money that we have in the coffers as prudently as possible.
Yes, I agree.
And when I asked for a second quote, I would assume that we'd get a second quote. And then we go 30 days without having a second quote, and then we gotta go another 30 days before we get a second quote, and this drags on and on and on. I'm frustrated.
I feel your pain.
Or do you know anybody that's qualified to do an audit?
These two people right here. I would assume Denning is qualified, and I know that Whitley is.
Okay, and you got a bid from Demi?
On partial.
Huh?
On partial.
Not on the
and
whole thing.
Not on
an
the whole
audit.
thing. And their partial is
Somebody
$300
needs to
more.
contact them, it sounds like me.
But then we have to set up another meeting.
No, we can, if we have to do two special meetings, we can get an ad and we'll put both of them together.
I'll just follow,
I'll just call them.
Communication.
see if they're willing to put in an ad, or a
Yeah,
bid for the audit.
And then we'll set up a special meeting to
Pick up the
do
phone.
the meters and,
vote on it, whatever we gotta do to vote on it. Cause isn't there a time frame that this has to be?
the one's already, the audit's already late. It's been late for a while.
and we're
We had to
doing-
wait for the 18 to get done, the 17, 18 to get done, before we could do the 19. And the annual review is a partial audit that the local state government issued, that's how they got the information. Denny's did it anyway.
Okay.
Hello?
You got a question, Randy?
Yes, sir. Where is the mayor?
Where is the mayor?
Yes, sir.
We covered that at the beginning.
Yes.
He wasn't.
Sorry.
I know you weren't here, but
Alright.
she is sick.
Okay. Sorry I messed up.
So,
Answered and asked.
okay. Okay, so we'll have to set a special meeting up. Okay? We will do that for that. Next on the agenda is discuss new council meeting day. When would you guys like to have our council meeting?
It doesn't matter to me. I'm pretty flex.
As long as it's not on the same